Having a weak grip can affect a person's ability to participate in all types of activities. Some activities you may not even realize. For example, drying off after a bath or shower.
Absolutely, and that's how the mobility towel came to be. The mobility towel was invented by Kathleen Quinn, whose mother had difficulty drying herself off after bathing. Kathleen's mom, Kay, was living with rheumatoid arthritis and had difficulty holding on to a regular bath towel. The mobility towel was lovingly created to help maintain Kay's independence and dignity during daily activities of bathing. So, Sin, who might benefit from using the mobility towel?
So anyone having difficulty drying themselves off after a bath or reaching difficult areas such as their legs, feet, or back after a bath or shower. This can often be caused by weakness, pain, poor balance, or lack of range of motion. So why don't we take a few looks at some features of some of the mobility towel.
I love it.
So let's start here.
So you can see here the mobility towel is really no different in size. It's about the same size, so it'll fit in your linen closet.
Yeah, and it's about
a whole bunch. And you can fit them all in your linen
That's
closet.
exactly right.
Replace all of your towels.
That's exactly right, and it's the same thickness, so that's really awesome. It's not going to take up any more room.
Absolutely.
That is true.
The mobility towel is 100% cotton, so that makes it washer safe and dryer safe.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then it's got these lovely big loops right across the middle. So if someone's having difficulty grasping, you know, you don't have to, this is not tiny, so you can grab onto that, or you can just slide your hands through the loops, right?
That's great. Yeah. Okay. I like that on the hem of one end of the towel, it has 2 3-ounce weights that are made from poly
pellets, I believe.
Yeah,
yes.
poly pellets. Yeah, poly pellets. So, and even still, it's dryer safe.
Right.
So it's not going to ruin your dryer.
And you know, I know that Kathleen went to extensive measures to get that, you know, worked out. It's not sand. It's not something. I mean, those poly pellets are sewn into a bag and then sewn into the towel, so that if something happens to the towel, that we're making sure that that stays intact.
Yeah.
So that's lovely, lovely, lovely.
I love it.
So you know, as a physical therapist, I really like the mobility towel because I have a lot of clients, let's say if they lack trunk range of motion, they have difficulty reaching their legs and their feet. So there's the mobility towel to help them dry.
Yeah,
you know?
or what about somebody that has had a stroke?
Right. If you've had a stroke, sometimes you can have limitations in one arm versus the other. You may only have use of one arm.
Right.
So if you have that, you know, being able to grab a loop and the weights on the bottom really allows you to kind of, what I say is sling the towel in different directions to get it where you need it so that it can help you dry off.
Right. Or like the 3 big loops with somebody that maybe has rheumatoid arthritis, like Kathleen's mom. Or just arthritis in general.
Right, because you know, arthritis can be debilitating. It can be painful. It can cause a lack of motion in the joints, and especially, you know, again, with these big loops, you don't have to grasp the towel. You don't have to grab the towel to try to dry yourself off. The combination of the loops, the combination of the weights and gravity really helps you do that.
Yeah, it allows for with the weight, it allows you to drape it over your leg or your shoulder.
Right.
And it helps with create friction.
Right.
That will ultimately help you with drying.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at how the mobility towel works. So one of the great things about the mobility towel is when you're using it, it really helps maintain dignity. It allows you the upper part to cover your body. You can put it in your lap, or you can cover your upper body as you're drying yourself off. So as you can see, you can grab the loops, and with the weights, it's going to allow that towel to stay against your leg, and as you drag it up, the friction against the leg is going to help you dry that off. It is also very good for drying your toes. So when you're bathing, you know, the toes have to be dry too. So the weights at the end of the towel, if you just kind of scrunch those around and roll your toes, it helps with drying the toes as well. The other thing is we talked about if someone just has use of one arm. The weights in the end of this are going to allow you to kind of sling it around your back. You can move it up your back, and then Janice, let it roll down your back, let it drop down your back, and see how the weights and gravity help you bring it back down. Okay, so there's a lot of different uses for the mobility towel. So when we first received the mobility towel, I was a little skeptical about whether or not it would really allow me to dry myself off thoroughly. As we do with all of our products, we put the mobility towel through the paces, and we were pleasantly surprised at how well it worked.
Yep.
This simple and effective design could make all the difference in helping individuals maintain their independence and their dignity.
If you think the mobility towel may be helpful for you or someone you love, be sure to scan the QR code on the screen or visit aecorner.com.
So what do you think, Sin?
I think that the mobility towel gets the AE Corner seal of approval.